Good afternoon, designers. Happy Thursday. I'm going to be talking maybe a little bit slower and more quietly. I'm just getting over a cold or flu. I'll be sucking on my favorite things. Ricola, lemon mint, sugar-free. Do wonders for your throat. Okay. So, let's just make sure chat's working. Let's post a link. Can everyone see that in chat? Yes. All right, cool. Looks like things are working. Let's dive in and get started. I'm probably going to keep this stream a little shorter, just so that I can get some extra rest and get back to 100% as soon as possible. Having said that, let's just dive in. I'm not even gonna do my spiel. I should at least introduce myself. If you're joining for the first time, hey, I'm Adam Ruff. I am a product designer at AngelList on the venture team, and I'm also the founder of UX Design Contest, which I created as a fun way to help designers build out their portfolios, test new skills, develop new skills, try out new tools and things like that. So I'm pretty excited about getting back into it. It's been a little while since I ran the last contest, and I've got a pretty aggressive goal to do, I think, to get to 20 this year, and we're on 12. So that's that. As you can see on the screen, this contest is all about improving the user experience of a website or app that you love. But I think it's great, like February, Valentine's Day, right? It's just a fun way to give a little extra love to those sites or apps that you enjoy. Hey Ralph, good to see you. And I'll just go briefly, I think I'll go briefly through the contest in case you haven't seen it. Desired outcomes, right? You can read these things on the screen, but basically identifying opportunities to improve your favorite website, applying user-centered design principles, right? To upgrade and elevate experiences. Today, we're really going to focus on this step, practice testing designs with the Usability Hub. So if you haven't used Usability Hub before, this is probably going to be helpful for you as you work on participating in the contest. Next week, hopefully I'm at 110%. Next week, we'll talk about creating no-code portfolio case studies using Notion, which is this great tool. Prizes, earn some big bucks for your charity. The volume is a bit low. Thank you. I've been experimenting with it. Let me see what I can do. Wait, this is on. How's it now? I'm literally going to be playing with it. I don't know the optimal. I have no feedback, so I don't know how loud I am. So I'm always worried about being too loud. Is this any better? And I'm intentionally not speaking kind of at my usual volume because my throat is still sore a little bit. Let me try moving the mic closer to me, which might also help. Okay, thanks, Ivan. Appreciate it. All right, hopefully the volume's better. If there's any issues, please let me know in chat. I am happy to accommodate. Awesome, we'll keep going. Basically, the way to enter, it's really simple. Pick a website or app, identify some experience that you want to improve, identify some success metrics, like how are you going to measure success for improving the experience. design some solutions, test those solutions against the current experience, right? The idea is that you're going to come up with some solutions that make the experience even better than it already is. And then you're going to create a no-code case study using Notion to document the project, and then you're going to submit it. There's of course, some criteria, and I've got some tools pasted down. I'm actually going to have a case study outline that I'll post. So that should make it even easier and faster to set up your case study. And tonight we want to do the usability hub portion, which is about testing designs. So unfortunately, because I've been sick, I've had zero time to prep what I'm going to test. So that's where I'm going to start first. And I have a couple quick ideas. And the first idea I have is I really like art toys. I can show you, like, I have a couple examples within reach, although I can never, there's no like easy way for me to see my camera. Let's see. Here's a little meerkat, right? Pretty cute. I really like cute stuff. And then I've got this like toasty marshmallow boy, right? It's kind of little fun art toys. I like collecting them. I just like having stuff that's fun and cool in my space because it just makes me feel good. And Strange Cat Toys is one of the websites that I use to discover new art toys. And I'm actually gonna duplicate this because I think I was messing around earlier. So here's kind of what the site is like. Great. Let's see. And I have a few ideas on how to improve things for my experience. And I think the experience I'm going to focus on is time savings. So it's great to be able to like browse and see all these things. But as you can see, like there's a lot, right? You go down, scroll down, it's kind of infinite loading. There's a lot of stuff. All right, we don't need to go through the whole thing. And there's a few things that come to mind. One is that I never really know when there's new stuff. So I feel like I check this website maybe a couple times a month to try to discover what's new. And because there are so many things, I often don't remember what are things that I've looked at before. And so I have a couple ideas. One of them is really simple. One of them is simply sorting from new to old. Right now it's sorted by feature. And also something that's missing, I think, is there's no date like when these things were added. So it says sorted by featured. I can sort by date, new to old, but like, how do I know? I'm going to open this in a new window and see if it has any sort of information on the date. So it doesn't. There's no... Oh, here we go. Well, we've got kind of the ship date is potentially something that you can use, but it doesn't really tell me when this thing was added. So that's one thing. Another idea I had was... So I clicked on something. Is using the visited link. So I know this is like super old school, but visited link W3 schools. Let's see if they have a nice little section about it. So basically the idea is that you have these different links, and if you click on a link, and now I've gone to that link, now it's pink. So it was blue and now it's pink. So I think there are some things, what you can do with visited is very limited because there's some security concerns about allowing people to do too much with that, because this actually does change some information in your browser. but I think this page will tell us all the things we can do. Here we go. So we're limited to these things. We can change color, background color, border color, outline color. These are the kinds of things that we can change. So I'm also thinking about making it easier to see things that I've visited or things that I've looked at. So those are like my two things. I'm gonna hack something up super quick so that I'll have something to compare with the original default design. And actually, even more than that, I think there's one other big idea that I had too is these images are fairly big. Do they need to be this big, right? There's 3 things displayed at a time. They're very large. Like, this is part of what takes so long, is scrolling through all these big images. So thinking about how I can make these bigger. What's the list? Oh, the list is even worse, right? It gives you a little bit more information. That's interesting. But in terms of scrolling time, it's even slower. All right, so let me get a good default. And what I'm gonna do here is, let's see some of my screenshots here. I'm gonna take I think this is 1024. And I'm going to take a screenshot. I think I'm gonna take a screenshot. There we go. I'm gonna take a scrolling screenshot. And I'm gonna go down far enough. All right, let's call that far enough. I'll keep my screen here just so I can see how my changes are at this resolution. I'm just gonna hack a few things up real quick. So first we've got sort by date nude old. Cool, that's great. Let me kind of show you what I'm doing here. I don't know if I have a real easy way to do this. Let's see, I could do, can I do that? Will it automatically pull more up? Oh, it is. Oh, that's so cool. Nice. Okay, so this is a pretty good hack that I can do. Okay, so if I do 25%, it's basically great. So I can fit some more. And then I want to change this image, this pro featured image thing. Let's set max height at 100 pixels. There we go. So I just kind of chop things off. Great. So that's set. And then I am looking for the text. Okay, here we go. Content, pro content. What's inside here? Okay, we've got pro name, pro price, pro button. Okay, so let's left align. Let's see, let's left align things first. Okay, so this gives me an easy line to go back to scan. That's great. The name, the line height is pretty extreme, so I'm gonna do something that's a bit tighter. Still lets me see. Wish I could get rid of that pre-order thing. It looks like those are hard coded in there, so I'm not gonna be able to do a ton of that. We may switch over to Sketch to make some additional changes. We'll see. Okay, this pro button thing. We've got this form element, and that's got this button here, this add to cart. So I can reduce the padding quite a bit. doesn't need to be that big. The add to cart button is already huge, right? It's not so great for the currently unavailable ones. But I want to think about that too. If stuff's unavailable, it's really annoying that it takes up space in the list as well. So maybe I can think about what to do with that. Okay, I think this is pretty good. This is at least good enough for me to take the screenshot. I'll start. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's not loading more. Alright, let's abandon that. No delay. I wonder if this is gonna mess everything up. Oh yeah, it is. Arg. Okay, I need to do all my loading first. That was something I didn't. I don't know how far down I went. Okay. Just go one more. Okay, cool. Alright, so let me do those again real quick. Looks like it's still faster. Okay, first the image. Pro featured image. Max height 100 pixels. Boom, got that part. And then the content. So the name or the content, first I left aligned it. Great. And then the name, I gave the line height, reduced the line height, fantastic. Okay, the price, I don't think there's anything really big to do there. And then this button thing, I got in here and added, reduce the padding. Oh, my columns. Right, so I changed this to 25%, and then I could fit more things on there. Cool. All right, now I think I can get the screenshot that I was hoping for. Things kind of end up wrapping on one row. Which, again, this is super quick and janky hack, but okay, that's enough. All right, now I've got these two things. Now I'm gonna go ahead, let's put this back nice and big. Let's get rid of this. Strange cat toys. Okay. I've got one there. I'm gonna grab the other one. And actually what I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to set up the test and usability hub. We'll focus on kind of the core value that I'm trying to add today, and then if I have time and energy, I'll go back and polish up what I'm doing. Oh no, this one has a, you see that? It's got the cursor there. Okay, I don't want that. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Did I go to the bottom already? Okay. I didn't see my little preview, so I'm slightly nervous that it didn't take. But I can always just grab a little piece of that. Let's find out. Let's see what happens. Okay, great. Okay, and because this is a usability hub test, I don't want to have this super enormous image that I'm asking people to use. So I'm going to, I just want to have at least something in common. I'm trying to look for something a little bit that requires a little bit of scrolling, but appears in both of these. Maybe it's these Chewy Hams circus show. Those are adorable. So, okay, so that's what I'm going to focus on. So I'm going to create an artboard. And I'm going to pull it up to, there we go. I'm gonna crop it kind of right there. And then what's the height of this? 3141. Okay, cool. I like that because it seems like a cool number. 3141. So these are fairly large images, right? But they're not going to be crazy insane. So I'm going to label this whatever design program you're using. It's really helpful if you label your artboards before you export them. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, the screenshot tool that I use is called Snagit from TechSmith. I'll put a link in real quick. Here it is. I'm still using the 2019 version. Apparently they came out with some pretty awesome improvements for 2020, but I'll just post that in there in case you're interested. They have free trial, so it's easy to play around with it and see if it's something that you want to use. I've been using Snagit for, I don't know, I feel more than 5 years, 5 or 6 years. Just love it. Okay, I was talking about naming artboards, like good practices. So I'm going to call this is going to be usability hub demo current experience. And I'm just going to copy that name. I do Command R in Sketch to highlight the layer name. And this will be proposed experience. Cool, so I've got those two things. Now I'm ready to export them. I'm going to make them exportable. And I'm going to, I think I'm only going to include the @2x. I'm just going to export them to my downloads, sure. Let's put them there for now. And then something cool that's going on with Sketch is I have it hooked up. There's a plugin to Image Optim, so I'm actually crushing those file sizes. And actually, I might want to export them as JPEGs to get them even smaller, but we'll see what the file size is. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to move this back down to my other screen. I'm going to pop over to Usability Hub and make it nice and big so you can see everything that's going on. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And oh, you can see I did one for a few contests ago. I'm going to create a new test. This test name is going to be UX Design Contest number 12. Yeah, you can see, Kyle, I don't know if you remember what the original file size was, but I believe it was more than 2 MB. And so you get these checks, and then part of the fun thing is, oh, here, it tells you how much we saved. Saved a total on all of these files, 1 MB out of 4.8 MB, 18%. And then you can actually try it again. So for me, Kyle, like, I've been using Sketch for, when did I start using Sketch? I feel like it's a similar amount of time, like 5 or 6 years, pretty early on. And because of that, I'm very familiar with Sketch and how it works. So for me, Sketch is better because I've just built up muscle memory and I'm familiar with how it works and I get it and I love the plugins. XD is a new tool. It's got some, I think they're starting to do some plugins. I think some things are special about Adobe XD. One of them was the ability to do audio commands. So I actually had a contest which was around voice UI, and for that contest it pretty much required Adobe XD because it's the only tool that I'm aware of that has the easy voice control inputs. So depending on what your specific use cases are, that's something else to be thinking about. Is there a tool that caters really well to my specific use case? Yeah, let me know. Check it out. These kind of things are also, I think, great to request from Adobe. I feel like Adobe does pretty good job of communicating and soliciting things through forums and other arenas to get information from their customers. So I would definitely encourage you to let them know if there's things that you need or want. Okay. I'm just gonna call this is just gonna be Project UX Design Contest. This is gonna be desktop only because it's big. English, yes. This is a demo. Usability Hub demo. Okay, welcome screen. I think I have to pay. Do I have to pay for that? Maybe not. This test uses a custom welcome screen. All right, I'll go back to that. I just want to talk briefly. All right, thanks, Matt. Get out of my way. Go. Be gone. How do I get? Okay, there we go. The question that I'm probably going to be using is this preference test. I could also see using a 5-second test. So thinking back to the contest, right? We talked about what are the things you need to do. I need to pick some metrics. Like, how can I measure success on these things? I think there's 2 things that I can do that come to mind right away. One is I look for something, right? So for example, I talked about these chewy hams, right? This thing right here, and over here, it happens to be right here. So the idea could be like, find something cute with small animals, or it could be find, just based on browsing, find the specific thing, right? And see how quickly people find it in one design or the other. So kind of a timed task is one idea that I have to measure success if my goals are around saving time. I think the second thing, and for that kind of test, I would probably use the first click. And so this would be 2 separate tests with 2 different the 2 different designs, the baseline and then the proposed design. The preference test, I would also, I have a feeling that showing more things on the screen is preferable. Like being able to see more things, you can kind of scan more quickly, and I believe that people will perceive it as the faster, easier option. So I think preference test would be another good one. So there are potentially multiple tests here, that I could run. I think for the sake of, let's try to do both. We'll see. It's already 6:30, so let's just start here. It'll be which design, and I really need to take a step back and think about what's the goal, right? The goal is to quickly scan through the items. Which design will allow you to scan through new products more quickly, faster? Which design allows you, so you can kind of see how I write things. I tend to like write something out and iterate. See, can I cut? Which words can I cut? How can I shorten it? Which design allows you to scan new products faster? Which design allows you to? Which design allows you to scan new products faster? Cool. Does anyone in chat see any other way that I can make this even shorter or more concise? Which design allows you to scan new products faster? I think that's what I've got right now. Device frame, I don't need any sort of frame. Here's where you can add your images. So I've got my demo, my 2 images. I see Ralph's got a question. Speaking of user testing, for the project that he's working on, should he test the landing page? Which landing page do you mean, Ralph? Do you mean an existing one or the one that you're going to be working on? Because there's some like out of stream contest. Ralph is looking at working on a project where he's going to be designing some landing pages. So I'm curious to know if he's thinking about testing them after he designs them, or if there's some existing thing that he wants to test first. Which design helps you find items faster? Kind of. I think that question, Kyle, I think is going to be better solved with the click test, where I ask them to find a specific thing, because then I can actually measure the time. And really, like, if you know what you're looking for, search is actually faster. So I do want to focus this comparison thing on the ability to browse, because that's my personal experience, so of how I use it. And Ralph says the landing page that he's working on, I think it's definitely something you can test, Ralph, especially if as you're trying to demonstrate impact, or if you have any questions that you want feedback on as you're doing designing. It could be something as simple as this, right? It doesn't have to be a moderated session. This is something about Usability Hub that I really like. It lets you quickly kind of answer some quick, like, gut check questions. Like, I have this gut feeling that this experience, when I put more things on the line, when I left the line the text so it's easier to scan, like, these little changes are going to make it easier to scan through products. That's my gut feeling. And using Usability Hub and doing a quick test allows me to test my gut and learn things. Okay, so why does it say standard DPI? Edit. High DPI. So that's something important. It's funny, like, you could actually use this Usability Hub to do this contest, because there are some small improvements that you could make pretty easily. Right? It's a little bit weird going into edit and not having some sort of control associated with the label, but whatever. I've done it before. I can figure it out. So I don't actually need any, I guess, is there any important follow-up question I have? Which design allows you to scan your products faster? This or that? And by the way, whatever you're naming these things, the participants in the test will not see the name of your file. So don't worry about the name. It's internal use only. And which design allows you to scan new products faster? Oh, something that's kind of nice. Maybe I'll just have it optional. Why did you choose that design? What is it about that design that will help you, that helps you scan new products faster? It's kind of long. Which design allows you to scan new products faster? Which design helps you scan new products faster? There we go. It's even shorter. What is it about the design that helps you scan new products faster? Short text. I'll make it optional. If I get anything from it, great. I don't need it though. So if it was really important for me to ask this, then I would just put required. I'm going to leave required off and just see how I do with this. The customized screen, I will do a welcome screen. I think it's a pretty good practice. This is all stuff that people are going to see. So I'm going to put something about title instructions. And they'll actually see, ask user to choose between your design generally or based on a particular attribute. Okay. I've been tasked with helping people browse products faster on an e-commerce site. I need your help to pick the design that will save people time while browsing for new products. Thanks in advance for your help. I'm going to break this into 2 lines like this, so it's easy to scan and read. Start button test is begin test, launch test, start test, instructions, please read. All right, I'm putting this here. I think it's a little bit more personalized and hopefully makes a connection. The I need your help. Okay, it's telling me that I can use kind of the markdown styling. Great. And then the thank you shown only to your audience. I'm just gonna say thank you. You made my day. I want to tell them to have a great day. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate your help. Okay. There we go. I think this test is ready. Save and continue. All right, so here's how this works. So Usability Hub, you can always contains a custom welcome thank you screen. Oh, maybe I do have to upgrade for that. Maybe let me go back and edit, because what I was gonna say is you can always recruit your own audience for free, but because I use those tools, I can't. So let me let me remove it. It's nice. I think it'll save my info, so that's cool. So now let's see. Great. So now I can set up the link. You can pay credits to get from the panel. So I have a bunch of credits that I could use. If I start it now, I bet you I could probably get a few. Let's just do this. So let's go with. Let's see if we can get 5 people real quick. So it'll be 10 credits. Turnaround time 5 minutes. Actually, let's make an odd number so there's a tiebreaker. Okay. I guess another pro tip I've used in the past is pick an odd number so you can't end up in a 50-50 situation. Country. The language is English, so I guess I don't care where people are, right? People can shop online from anywhere. Age range. I'll keep it open. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna keep it totally open. Let's just submit this thing. Boom. There we go. All right, I should start receiving responses any minute. So we'll see. I think what I can do next is I can demonstrate another type of test while we're waiting on those responses. Okay, Kyle asks, how often do you use Usability Hub on your designs at work? Is it an essential part of your workflow? I'd say I probably don't use it as much as I could or should, Kyle, is the honest answer. It depends. I think the big problem with the stuff that I've been working on at work is as we're designing for like with screenshots and from screenshots that have, you know, people's information, privacy becomes a big issue. I'd say now we're starting to get around that. So we have design system, we have placeholders, we have dummy names for everything. So we can actually create mock-ups and designs fairly easily without any real concern about, you know, accidentally showing someone's information, someone's personal information or private information. That being said, there are also areas where we have kind of like platform type data. So just making sure that we have numbers that we can show and we can use in tests, I think is a big thing. So I definitely like to use it more often. Again, for a lot of these gut type decisions too, I'd say, you know, when I've used Usability Hub more in the past, it's where I've had less access to other designers to bump and say like, hey, can you check this out? Can you review this real quick? This helps me get at that. Another time I really like using Usability Hub is when we're kind of at an impasse. Like there are strong opinions on both sides, like which way should we go? If I have easy access to users and I can do basically this, set up this link and send it to some users, that's what I'll do first, because it's an easy way to move forward, make these quick decisions, move forward. Niharika says that they don't know how to code. Can they use a prototype against the website to conduct usability testing? Is that acceptable? Definitely. I'd say it really depends on the complexity of the things that you want to test. But for example, right now I'm testing, right, a real website versus, I guess, kind of the real website that I hacked together and changed a little bit. You can definitely compare prototypes against websites. Yeah, definitely. Ralph asked a question too about audience. I need another Ricola. When you know audience or user information on something, how do you apply it to a project? Can you provide a specific example, Ralph? I'm not sure I quite understand what you mean by audience or user information on something. If you can give me a real specific example, that'll help a lot. I'm just gonna refresh this page and see if I've got any responses yet. Doesn't look like it. All right, they said I'd probably get responses in 5 minutes, and it's already 4 minutes. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's make a new test. All right. UX design contest number 12. This is going to be a click test demo. This is for UX design contest. Great, desktop only. All right, so this one's going to be first click, and I'm gonna have someone find something. And what was the name of the thing I wanted people to find? This thing. Chewy Ham's Circus Show. And I'm just gonna use I'm gonna call it Circus Animals. I don't want to use the exact name of the thing because I don't want people just to be looking for text. But I do want to encourage the idea, like, I'm someone who I could see myself buying circus animals, little circus animal art toys. Yes, that's totally me. So I'm gonna say circus animals. Browsing quickly. As fast as you can. Find circus animals. Find a product related to circus animals. We'll see. That may or may not be good. Oh, I totally ignored my best practice and pro tip because I was in a rush to get things going. And that is, after you write a test, before you pay credits or money to run your test with a bunch of people, send it to 1 or 2 friends first to have them take the test and say, was there anything confusing about that? Did anything not work? So you can work out any kinks before you actually send it to the audience. So big pro tip there. I didn't do that just now, but I'll do it with this one. So this one is we're gonna do current UX because there's gonna be 2 separate tests. I can't do multiple designs here for this test. It's just one design at a time. So let's do the current experience. Ralph says it could be a persona, or if you ask a client who is their audience, for example. How do you apply that to your project? Okay, I think I understand, Ralph. So, again, my favorite answer in the whole world, depends. And I'll clarify that in a couple ways. So I think the big depends is it depends on what you need. Like, this is, you're talking about how to apply it to a project, not necessarily to apply it to a case study, but actually how to use the information in a project. So for example, you ask a client who their audience is, and they give you some information, some demographic information, right? In just a minute, I'll show you how we might use that information. It's, especially when you're thinking about people who you would test your designs with, right? Or look to for feedback. Those are definitely areas where you can use that kind of information. How confident are you that you found the product related to circus animals? I'm going to put this one required. So what I'm doing is I'm asking them to click here, but I also want to get a sense of their confidence. And I'm going to use this linear scale. I'm going to start it at 1. I'm going to end it at 5. And 1 is going to be not confident at all. and 5 is going to be extremely confident. And I put this as required because I not only want to record how much time it took them to click, but I want to get the participants' confidence level. Like, great, yeah, they clicked on something, but how confident are they? Because ideally I want fast and high confidence, right? That's really going to be the sweet spot. Okay, so I think this one's ready. And we're going to go set up this link here. I'm going to show this to Ralph. So I think this is right up Ralph's question, right? How would you use audience or user information on a project? For example, if I knew, let's say I talk with this Strange Cat Toys company, and they told me that their audience was overwhelmingly male. Just for sake of argument. I have no idea. It's probably a much closer to 50-50 mix, would be my guess. But anyways, just for sake of argument, it's overwhelmingly male. It's overwhelmingly younger, but not that young, like 20. Let's go 18 to 40. There we go. And these are people who also spend a lot of time online, right? So cool. Now I've got some demographics that I can use, and when I'm placing my usability hub test, it's going to... Oh, that's interesting. It's only 27 responses, 27 credits. I spent 14 credits on 7 people. I guess that's because the test takes longer. Interesting. Anyways, this is a direct example of how we can apply that information to a project, Ralph. I hope that helps. So I'm actually not going to do this. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to set up this link so I can show this other way. Now, this is probably what you're going to do if you're participating in the contest, and I hope you are. I'm really excited to see what people come up with for this contest. I think it's really easy to get into. It's not a huge time commitment, and hopefully it's fun. Like, working on something that you like is great. So I don't think there's really a need to limit participants or do any of these kind of things. You can just go ahead and enable the link. Now you've got the link ready. So what I'm going to do, just for a test, I copied it. I'm going to put it in chat. For anyone who it's convenient, you're at your computer, you can click on that link in chat. Please go ahead and just do the test real quick. It doesn't matter if you can click anywhere and type in anything, or you can be real serious about it. Doesn't matter. The point is, if anyone has the opportunity to do that, what I can do is then I can start to show like how the responses work, and we can start looking at that. In fact, why don't I copy this, and I'll open up an incognito window, and I'm going to open up the test. I'll do it too. If I'm asking you to do it, I should probably also do it myself. What do you think? Okay, so I've been invited to participate in a short test. As fast as you can, find a product related to circus animals. Click on the image. Okay. Circus animals. No, those are cats. No. Circus animals. Oh, here we go. Click. How confident are you they found the product? I'm extremely confident. Boom. So that's basically what participants will do. So now I should have a response. There we go. Just showed up. Nice. And let's go ahead and I'll show a couple quick things here. Oh, nice. I already have started getting responses. Thank you, whoever also participated in this test. Appreciate it. So I just want to highlight one thing. So remember I said that this is basically working on the current UX, right? And I also want to compare that with the same test with the proposed experience. So one of the cool things you can do is you can just duplicate this, and the test name, right? You can copy it. I don't know why it's not here by default. Proposed UX. I'm just going to call it click demo. Do you want it to be added as a variation? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know that I've spent a lot of time on variation, so I'm not going to speak to that. I'm just going to make it a standalone test. I think that's something I have to explore a little bit more. Oh, you know what else I forgot to do? I forgot to do this. Which is interesting because it seemed to display okay. But let's go ahead and remove this. And that's done. And that's all good to go. And then you can save and continue. And you can set up the link. And you can create the link. And you can copy the link. All right, so here's... Thank you, Niharika. Appreciate it. I want to do this other test real quick. Humor me. I'm just curious to see what the image quality is like. Because this one here, I used the high DPI. I don't know that it looks that much different. Okay, I'm trying to find circus animals. Ooh, look at this. I need to clean these up. That's confusing. See why it's really important to test, right? Look at all these mouse cursors that are going to be distracting people. Here's the thing. Yeah, but after I got distracted by all those cursors. See? That's proof in the pudding of why the little pilot test is such a helpful pro tip. So I can actually get rid of all these. There we go. Nice. Let's see. I can do the same thing over here and get rid of the little scroll bar. Oh, let's make sure I don't have any of these in the way. And let me export these again. Oh, where did those go to? I hope those went to downloads. I don't know that they did. They went somewhere. Well, I can find them. I'll put them in downloads too, just in case. Kyle asks, what kind of UI UX tests have you had while going through or doing the interview process for design jobs? Yes, I want to replace tests. I'm not sure that I've had any tests per se, but I'm guessing that things like whiteboard challenge, right? I'd say that's fairly common. Some sort of whiteboarding challenge or challenge where you're talking through something so that people can understand how you approach product design and your approach to the design process. Other test like things. One company, like if you've heard about my ABC strategy, where you have like A is the companies you really want, B are like companies that are kind of okay opportunities, C companies or opportunities are like things you really don't care about, but you'll use them to get like practice and experience. On one of the C companies, they gave me assignment to create a landing page. He gave me like 20 minutes and said like, just like wow us with a landing page. And it's like, that's so not how I work. But whatever, like it's one of those C experiences. So you just go with it. Just like do it, embrace it. That was pretty unusual, and I don't think a good test for someone. Design is very iterative, and if you judge people by the very first thing people come up with, people would have wildly different feedback and opinions about my work if I was judged by the very first thing I came up with for different projects. All right, so I've already got some responses. How was that? Do you have a sense that you could come into Usability Hub and make a test? Do you know some of the gotchas, right? The different types of the test, the pro tips about running a pilot test and then going in and updating, about whether or not to keep something optional or required for click test, also getting a confidence measure. So let's take a look. We've already got some responses coming in. So let's just take a quick look here and see what's going on. All right, I mean, this is very early days, right? I requested 7 participants. So far I've got 2. And what I like about Usability Hub, it helps qualify, the performance, If I were to get wildly excited and say like, oh my God, my proposed experience is amazing. Like, oh yeah, I must have I hit some of the right things. So some of those decisions were really effective. It's a little bit too early to say, right? You've got fewer than 10 responses. People are over the place. It's interesting in terms of the time that people spent. And again, we only have 1 versus 29. This one is not the timed test. So I'm gonna largely ignore the time because some people may compare it very quickly. Other people may compare it slowly and kind of look around and see things. It's really about the vote. Did anyone look at this? So I made it optional, you may remember, and all 3 people chose to do stuff. It's pretty interesting. I think the general layout. Okay, so let's see. I want to see. There's a way that you can filter this thing. What is it? Oh, here it is. No, these are the filters. I thought there was something I can do to find out which was this. Oh, I think. Oh, here it is. It's this filter thing. You can see I haven't used this a little while, a little rusty. So if I pick these 2, now I'm only going to see results for this. I think the general layout and description category used would make for a faster scan process. The photos are smaller. I can look at more products at once instead of focusing too much on details. See, this is right in line with my assumptions, right? My kind of gut feeling. So to be able to hear this and see this, even in an optional question, helps give me confidence as a designer. Now, let's see what that other person said. The items are organized, the eyes know what to follow, and it doesn't give you a headache. I mean, we didn't change that much outside of there is the gap, right? I'm testing these things really the kind of the jankiest way possible to show you, right? There's big problems here, right? You have these big gaps. Like that should be filled, right? That's not great. So these kind of gaps and things to clean up. So there's definitely more work that I would do. If let's say I was someone who was going to enter this contest and I'm like, dang, I really want to win this contest, I would actually be creating the design in Sketch for these things. I would create a symbol, like a component of these product displays, and then I would have it all neat and optimized. So I would really come up with something that I think is like super stellar and amazing. That's kind of what I would do. All right, so I think I'm about out of gas in terms of talking. This is like the most talking that I've done outside of interviewing this week. And I'm ready for a rest. So kind of last chance. Let's give 5 more minutes. If anyone has any questions about the contest or about testing their designs using Usability Hub, now is your best chance to get direct answers to that. I know something else I want to pitch. So, I started a Twitter handle, UX Design Contest. So, would really appreciate it. I would love to kind of separate it so I don't have to use my personal channel for both contest stuff and personal stuff. I'd love the contest channel to be more focused on things. And so I'm going to put a link to this Twitter channel. If you're not already following, like, please follow. I'm thinking that for future contests, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a goal. For example, it's pretty audacious goal, but if we get to 500 followers, and there's about 2,000 designers on the email list, so it's not like a crazy thing, but kind of crazy. If we get 500 followers, I'm going to double the charity reward from $100 to $200. At its current rate, I'm not holding my breath, but I am thinking about doing some of those kinds of things so we can just spread the word a little bit more, having a more active Twitter presence and something where I can add links and communicate things to folks who are participating, I think is going to help the contest be stronger overall. You're welcome, Kyle. Thank you for tuning in. All right, Niorika, about the 2 to 3 metrics that should be used to measure success. It has to be metrics in Usability Hub, right? So there is a requirement to use Usability Hub to test things. So yes, you're going to want to think about what are the types of metrics that I can test. And just to give you, let's see, if we go to create new test, actually, I'm going to look at the different types of tests. So we talked about click test, which can be a good measure of time, like time on task, at least when it consists of a single screen experience. So if it's like find something on the screen, these kind of click tests can be great. This first click test. Preference test, great. This is like, what do people want to use more? This is just like pure like preference. So that's a fairly easy metric to use. If you have a flow, right? If you have several steps that are part of your improvement solution, then the navigation test can be valuable. It can measure both success of getting through a flow end to end, and it will also be measuring time as they go along. So if you have kind of a flow thing. 5-second test, this could be really useful if you are setting metrics around awareness, for example. So let's say your idea is to improve a homepage experience. Let's say there's a website that you really like, but you feel they're doing this really important, amazing thing, and they're just not talking about it. Like, people don't know they do this amazing thing. Maybe you come up with a design iteration that highlights this amazing thing they're doing, and you use the 5-second test to compare the current and proposed design to engage awareness on it. So these are the tests I have the most experience with. I think the questions and design questions, these are kind of like open-ended for you to think about how you might include measurements of metrics by asking questions. Awesome. I'm glad you found it helpful. And O says, on UX Contest 12 page, the first bullet point under how to enter is empty. Just an FYI. Uh-oh. How to enter. Are you seeing something different? I guess I'm seeing, whoops, where is it? I'm seeing a link to follow Twitter. Oh. But if you see something different, can you screenshot that to me? Like, take a screenshot and tweet it at me or email. My email is adam@adamruff.com. I wonder if there's something else you're thinking about. Because yeah, I guess, yeah, I haven't done a lot of like cross-browser testing. So yeah, if you see something that's broken, please let me know. I appreciate it. And I can look into it later. All right, everyone. I'm going to sign off and get some more rest. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ralph and Ivan and Nirika and Kyle and oh, appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing contest entries. If you've got anything that you have questions on or you want tips, let me know. Could just be the browser and Twitter. Interesting. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Looking forward to that. Next week, just as a heads up and reminder, we're going to be focusing on the case study portion. So I would say a best case scenario, like where would be a great place to be in your contest entry by next Thursday, would be to have kind of gone through the first, how to enter steps through number 6 and have tested your solutions. If you haven't got that far, no big deal. You probably want to be at least have picked the experience, done some work on designing some solutions. Again, these things can be fairly lightweight, right? They don't have to take a ton of time. And then maybe at least start drafting your test because next Thursday, I'm going to share 2 things. I'll release the outline, or by Thursday. I might do it a bit sooner. It depends on when I finish polishing it up. I will have an outline that you can essentially copy, right? It'll be a template for creating the no-code case study. And then what I'm going to do with the results that I get from the stuff that we did tonight is I will use that and demo creating this case study. And I hope that will be helpful in getting people to really think about their case studies, like why they exist and what value they want to get out of them. And I'm hoping that the outline I provide is going to make it that much easier so people aren't dealing with blank page scenario like, this is like nerve-wracking, it's a blank page. No, it's going to be a template and you just go through and you add in your info. Hopefully it's going to be that easy. So thanks for tuning in this week. I will see you again next week. Until then, stay healthy, drink plenty of water, get lots of good sleep, and happy designing. Bye now.